guess what? I've got a brand new monitor. Hi guys, so we're going to review the new BenQ 271C. It's a hybrid monitor, it's pretty cool. The guys at BenQ got in touch and said, look, we want you to try this out and tell us what you think of it. So here we go. So one thing about my reviews is that I always like to test the equipment. I also only really review equipment that I like and I use. So I don't just get sent something and then I review it straight away. I've had this monitor for about a month, so I've had a good play and a good test with it. So let me show you what it can do. Out of the box, the difference between an iMac and the BenQ 271C is glaringly obvious. Excuse the pun. Highly reflective, the iMacs and a nightmare to calibrate, whereas with the BenQ monitor, it's like editing on photographic paper. And also I've got the hot puck, which I can use to, when I'm calibrating, to get those settings absolutely perfect. Plus it's also got inbuilt calibration, which will notify you when it needs to be calibrated, which is really useful. Obviously, the X-Ray software will do that for you as well. That'll remind you. But it's nice to know that the screen is actually monitoring what's going on there as well. So a little bit about the new BenQ monitor. It's a 4K 27-inch monitor. That's the guts of it. But what's really cool is it's hybrid. So by hybrid, I mean you can edit your video content on it, you can edit your photo content on it. And that's all really important too, because a lot of the cameras now are hybrid, which means we've got an overlap in the industry. I'm doing more filmmaking as a photographer, so that overlap comes in. So I know when I edit in Premiere Pro, all my colors are going to be bang on and accurate, so when I send to the client, they're really happy with their products. Likewise, when I print my photos, the prints coming off look exactly like they are on the screen. And as I said before, it's like editing on photographic paper. The other thing which is quite cool, which I just discovered in, like a bit of downtime, it's quite cool for doing this as well. Bit of gaming. It's not a gaming monitor, but the colors in that look really, really cool. So if you want a bit of lunchtime relaxation, it's a bit of chill. It's quite cool for that. On the back, you'll see all the inputs as well for the HDMI, display port, and also USB 3. So that expands it a bit more. It's also got a really wide color gamut. I'll put all those sort of high spec details. I'll list those down as well for you. But when I get into this out of the box and I put it on my desk, the things I like to do is just plug it in and see what it can do. And that's exactly what I did. Plugged it in, calibrated it, because once you get it out, you want to calibrate it straight away. But what are the cool things about BenQ monitors? They will send you a calibration certificate, so it's been calibrated, and all those, all the settings and all the quality is there within that certificate. Calibrate yourself, and then you're away. Now, you'll see a bit of glare if I turn this a little bit, and that's because I've got a light behind me. But to look at it on screen here, that's quite a flat bit of glare compared to having a look at like the iMac, which is horrendous with glare. And as I touched on earlier, the iMac is also terrible to calibrate. So let's have a look at some more features. Compared to the previous model, the 271C has HDR and two types, HDR10 and HRG. Now what does that mean? Well, that means that you can actually preview your HDR content on screen rather than just on the back of the camera, because not all monitors are capable of displaying true HDR. The 271C does that for you, so it makes your color grading that much more easier for your video content. One of the gems of the new 271C is the new second generation hot puck. It's you can not only adjust your color space, I can go to Adobe RGB back to sRGB, or I can even preview straight and white, like black and white like that. So it makes life really, really easy. But it's also got a presser center control, so that allows you to adjust your brightness, your contrast, and of course volume if you need it as well. So that's a really quick way just to, rather than jumping around menus and stuff like that, and it just makes your workflow that much easier. Let me run through a few of the updates, because some people might think, oh, you know, it's just got a new badge on it and there's not that much difference, but there is a lot of difference. So uniformity technology, what does that mean? That's sort of your color spaces and things like that. So with previously you only had Adobe RGB and sRGB. Now you've got third generation uniform technology, which allows the HDR and hence we've got the capability for video editing. Color consistency technology was not available in the previous model. Now it is, so you've got that beautiful color flow all the way through. And something that really excites me now is the paper sync software. And what that basically does, it gives you the impression of paper-like technology on the screen before you even print. And that's really cool. It's also got third-party calibration support for Calman and Lightspace. And of course, as I said before, we've got the second generation hot plug. So there's lots going on in there. Also the USB-C, which has got a power as well, so you can charge things if you need to. So there's loads and loads of new features packed in to the new 271C. One of the things when I review something, like I said before, I tend to just get out and play with it. But then after a while, you will sort of tend to go back and look at the spec. And one of the specs I really like is, as simple as it sounds, is the hood that surrounds the BenQ monitors. Inside, you can't really see it from here, but it's almost got a velvety feel to it, so it's non-reflective, but it absorbs the light, so that allows anything that's going to bounce around, it's going to keep it off the screen. I've got a window just in front of me here, which I've actually got shut with Venetian blinds, but I don't want any light sort of bouncing around the room or hitting that screen. And what this hood does, that eliminates that. It's also got a little slider in the top, so you can drop down your calibration tool cable, so it sits nice and flush on the screen, so you can get those truly accurate colors you like. It's those little details in really good products that make a huge difference to your imagery. So a few of you may be sitting there now thinking, do you know what, I might have a look at this. Or you may be thinking, nah, I don't need any monitor, and that's fine. But when you get to the point and you send stuff to labs and they can only go by what you send them, and you're getting stuff sent back because you're thinking that color's not quite right or whatever, then you're sort of thinking, maybe I need a better monitor. I've edited on an iMac for a long time and I've struggled with it, because they lose their color space and things like that. They're not as accurate. At the start of last year, I had to play with the 32-inch version of this, which was amazing as well. And that sort of got my thirst for BenQ monitors as well. So the difference to me is huge. And you know, coming from someone who hasn't had high-end monitors all the time, when you get one, you notice the difference straight away, and it makes your work so much easier. And it also helps you rather than getting, you know, looking at glaring objects, looking at a matte surface, non-reflective surface, which is much better for you and working environment as well. I really hope you've enjoyed this really brief, really relaxed review. It's the way of doing it. If you've got any questions, put them down below and I'll answer them for you. Cheers, take care.